Had the joy of celebrating my birthday this weekend. Made it to 53 years. But as part of the reflection I like to do around birthdays, a thought occurred to me, and I want to ponder it with you. And that thought is, on paper, I've lived 53 years, but I wonder how many unique years I've actually lived. By the way, thanks for taking a walk with me today. In other words, what I'm thinking about is, how many years have I spent essentially running on autopilot, even living unconsciously, sort of doing the same things over and over again, so that instead of living a new year, I've just found myself repeating the same years over and over again. You know, some of that comes from, I think, shame and guilt, those two members of the unholy trinity that I talk about sometimes, where we can get stuck in the past out of regret, or wishing things were different, or feeling bad about something that we did, or literally just feeling bad about ourselves, that we're just not good enough. So that's a part. And how often do we get stuck in those pasts so that we replay, certain small parts of our life over and over again, that then robs us of our life now? And I also know for myself, I tend to worry. I have a real gift of anxiety, and I can always kind of think of scenarios in the future that might be harmful. Some of those things, it's actually helped me in my professional life, because I've been able to navigate things by looking ahead and troubleshooting. But again, it's the same thing. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with making plans. We're not getting at that. But how much of my life have I lost worrying about possible futures that obviously never happened? So, my challenge to myself, and my challenge to everybody listening here, is ask yourself that question. How many years, unique years, have you actually lived? And what would it look like then to open yourself up to that new thing that God might want to do? I love those texts where God says, "Behold, I make all things new." So I'm going to ask myself, what am I learning? What's that thing in my heart that I've always sensed I'd at least give it a shot, that I've waited? How long am I going to wait? I'm already 53. But how am I learning? How am I growing? How am I being challenged in my life? And how can I embrace challenges and even embrace change and learn to realign with that? And so more and more of the rest of my life becomes that adventure where I can show up, be present, pay attention, because I know that God's got way more invested in this than I do. Again, I hope to do another report, and I don't know if I'll have the gift of 53 more years, but it would really be cool if the years that I do have left, they can be new ones and lived well. Wish that for you too, my friends. Until next time, live by faith, be known by love, be a voice of hope to others. Again, love to have a conversation or hear your thoughts.